On social media, many times you can give a thumbs up or a thumbs down that you like something or you don't like it, or on a web post that it's helpful or it's not helpful. Well, what if you could do the same thing in the email you send out through HighLevel? Hello, I'm Alan McNabb with Image Building Media, and honestly, I had never thought about that. However, one of our clients asked just the other day, is this possible so that I can get feedback from my audience as to whether my emails are helpful or that they like them, and get some feedback on how to make them better? And so we began to think about that. And after some time, I became convinced that this could be very valuable. Indeed, we use email stats like open rates and click rates and that type of thing, but that doesn't give us any feedback. So if we can get the feedback, and not only with just a yes or no, but even get our audience when they say yes or no, when they click thumbs up, thumbs down, to then give us more feedback, that's going to help us a lot, and it's going to engage our audience a lot. So we set out to determine whether we can do this and how we could do it. So that's what I want to share with you today. So let me just show you very quickly an overview of what we're going to cover. 3 methods. Method number 1. This is the basic setup to vote on emails, up or down, yes or no, thumbs up, thumbs down. We'll show you both methods. But this doesn't include individual email tracking. Method number 2. Now we're going to talk about tracking individual emails. And then method number 3, we've also thought that lead scoring for up and down votes in our email could be very valuable, because this gives us a barometer of how we're doing. It also helps us to segment our list as to our audience that is very engaged in what we're doing, and those that want to help us, those willing to give us feedback to make us better. So let's dive in. Method number 1. This is the basic setup. So we're going to set up trigger links. Then we're going to set up an automation using the trigger links. We're going to tag the contacts that give us an up or down vote. We're going to send an auto response back to them. And then we're going to have an internal notification so that our team knows that we've received this feedback. Then, of course, we're going to set up the email. We're going to do it in 2 ways, where the person could click just a yes or a no. This was helpful, yes or no. And we're also going to set it up with icons, and it'll be with a thumbs up and a thumbs down. All right, so let's get over to HighLevel. And of course, we're going to start with the trigger links. Now, this tutorial is not about how to set up trigger links. So if you need help doing that, there's certainly many tutorials on how to do that. So we're going to set up the 2 trigger links, 1 trigger link for an up vote and 1 trigger link for a down vote. Now, you remember with trigger links that when someone clicks that link, it sends them to a web page, to a URL. And so we created a landing page so that when the upvote or the yes is clicked, it sends them to an email upvote landing page. Now, what's really cool about this is, of course, you can thank them for their vote, but also at this point, you can solicit them for additional information, because you want to use this to make your email marketing campaigns better. And so you can solicit information from them. What did they like? What can you do better? And things such as this. Likewise, for the down vote, the same thing. You thank them for their vote, and now you can get information, especially for these, as to what can you do, in their opinion, to improve. All right, so we got our trigger links in place. Before we go, remember that we can get analytical data from HighLevel. So, and you can do this by date. And so you can find out how many times the upvote trigger link was clicked, the downvote, you can do that by date. And later on, as we talk about tracking individual emails, you can come over here and you can track them as well. All right, so now let's deal with the automation. I'll talk about the math operation at the bottom in just a little while. So this is just the basic setup. Of course, we're using our two trigger links as our workflow trigger. Then we're using an if-else condition, and we've got two branches. And so we've got the clicked email upvote branch, and we've got the clicked email downvote branch. These are very similar. Both of them, they add a tag. So if they clicked an upvote, they add the tag for the email upvote. If they clicked the email downvote, it adds a tag for the email downvote. So this can be very helpful in segmenting your list with those who are engaged with thinking things are good about your email, and you're wanting to continue to use them to help you and to get feedback. And also, as much and maybe more so, those who see that those emails can use some improvement, and maybe they've got some really good ideas with that. So with this automation, once the tags are added to the contacts, then we send them out an email reply, and we thank them. And again, we are trying to work toward getting information from them to help us improve our campaigns. And then we have an internal notification to the team. So the team knows that we've got this feedback, and then we want everybody to be on top of that. Math operation I'll talk about in just a little bit. All right, so once we have our automation, we've got our trigger links, and now we can add to the bottom of any email campaign simply one line. It can be vote. Was this email helpful? Or you don't need the word vote there. It can say anything you want it to say. There is a yes and there is a no. And these, of course, are associated with the trigger link. Yes is the yes trigger link. No is the no trigger link. And that's it, really. It is that simple. Now, it's a little bit more complicated if you want to use the icons so that the thumbs up and the thumbs down are in line, just like the yes and the no were. And so we have to use some HTML code. I'll put that code at the bottom of the YouTube video. It'll also be in our support channel on our image building website, support.imagebuildingmedia.com. And if you're one of our clients, just reach out via support and we'll help you with this. No problem whatsoever. All right, so that is it. We're good to go. And we've tested this, several times, and it works. It works beautifully. All right, so we want to go on just a little bit further, and I will I'll bring up our slide once again. So method one is complete. So method two, now we're going to track individual emails. This could be valuable if you've got a very important campaign you're trying to perfect. Maybe you're using it for onboarding, so it's constantly being used over time. So this is really important. It's not like a one-time thing. Or maybe it's a giant promotion and you're really trying to perfect how you get the message out with these very large promotions, whatever it may be. You probably don't want to track individually each email that you ever send out, because that's going to be really time consuming to do. So it's probably going to be a special situation where you do this. But how do you do it? Well, you simply set up a designated trigger link for that email. And that way, all the up and down votes, they will be identified with that one email. we thought of another maybe part of this solution is perhaps you've got trigger link email 1 and then another one for email 2, another one email 3. You could even change the names of the trigger links over time if you wanted. And then you could sort of rotate out those trigger links for designated email. And indeed, the stats, if you were to do stats throughout all of history, well, then they're going to be skewed because they're going to be for numerous emails. But remember, with the analytics for the trigger links, you can associate dates. So you simply associate like that email that you're tracking went out on a certain date. Everything from there forward would be this one email. So if you wanted to save a little time, having generic trigger links that you can, in essence, assign to particular emails over time, and you can get your analysis data based on a time frame, it just saves you a lot of time in doing that. And so setting up those trigger links would be quite easy. Just set up the trigger links for the email, go to your automation, add some additional branches for those trigger links. And that's it. You got it, man. That is it. You may want to change the emails that go out for those designated triggers for particular emails, be very specific with that. That would be great, but really it's quite easy to add that on. All right, so the third thing is we thought about is that lead scoring for contacts that are upvoting and downvoting. The emails could be very valuable because it's giving us some statistical analysis. You can even break it down if you wanted to know for a contact how many upvotes and then how many downvotes. You would just create two. You would just create two separate fields for that. And then your math operation would be assigned to changing those fields. For our purposes, I'll go back over to HighLevel now. For our purposes, we just used one field. And I'll get back over here to the automation. And you can see we have a single custom field, lead scoring up and down vote emails. And if the contact clicks upvote, it adds one value. And if they click down, I'll click on that one, it subtracts one. And so that is a running total to everything they've been doing. I'll show you test contact. This is just a demo account. And you can see here that we've got the field right here, and we've tested this quite a bit, and we've tested to make sure the number changes up or down every time, works perfectly, that the links are clicked. You can see also over here on the far right side with the attribution, you can see when those votes were made. You can tie them into when the email went out, and you can get a really good idea just sort of looking at it and ballparking it a little bit. Again, you probably don't want to like be tracking every single email, but this will give you a good idea how your campaigns are going. And then on those occasions where you want to take the time, you want to set up the designated trigger links and automation and all of that, then certainly you can do that. All right, so we thought this was a really great idea that one of our clients had that was really involved in doing a lot of marketing and has a large audience. And I thought that was a good idea. So I'm just going to leave this with you. If you have some ideas how we can improve it, some things we can do to make this automation and the upvoting, downvoting better, hey, just give us some comments and let us know. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll really appreciate that. And I'll leave this with you until next time, and we'll see you then. Thank you so much.